We live.
Episode 10, I believe, on this one. We finally made it to double digits, guys.
2 months, bro. 2 months of doing this.
2 months. Let's see how long we can go. Um, so today we have a kind of an open situation where I kind of want to talk about due diligence that we're doing, hence our show with the commercial property that we're buying, the Belvedere. And for people that don't know what the Belvedere is, let me just show you how amazing this property is because it is over 100 plus years old and it looks immaculate, right? So just to give you guys an idea of what it looks like, it's this beautiful property right here that has been built in 1903. It used to be a hotel, and it's got marble floors, coffered ceilings. Like it is grandiose, and it's over 100 plus years. Not only that, it's been featured in multiple magazines. They have its own freaking event space where weddings happens. Like you can see here, people are literally tying the knot and like doing their photo
Oh,
shoots.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Um, like people are having a great time. This has been around for over 100 plus year, guys. Multiple presidents have visited here, famous celebrities. They're actually on the wall as soon as you walk into the Belvedere.
Yo,
Dude,
scroll up, bro.
yeah, I honestly thought when I was looking at this property when we first went there, I was like, this is probably nothing special. But then when you walk in, it's completely different. This is on the 13th floor, by the way, guys. I want to see if I can show. It's another like little beautiful room that we walked into. This is the 13th floor. It's absolutely amazing. So it's like its own little city inside of a building, right? Uh, where
Yeah,
is
there's
the?
like there's a on the lobby. You've got obviously the
Yeah.
wedding venue,
Yep.
but you have the bar and restaurant.
Yeah, it's called the Owl, I believe.
Yeah, it's like
Owl
yeah, it's
Bar.
really cool.
So, yep, right here. This Owl Bar has been around since the Prohibition period. And we learned some cool history in regards to this. Like this is in the Belvedere, guys. We walk to this, it's like a nice like speakeasy, like gritty, like kind of like how would you describe this?
It's like rustic.
Yeah, rustic. That's a good word to put it, right?
Yeah.
Dude, so much history in this building. It's a mini freaking city in here. There's also condominiums in here, like as far as residential and commercial. What else do they have in here? They have, go ahead.
Well, they're building right now the supermarket in the
Yeah, the
basement.
grocery store, right? Oh, I don't know if it's
No,
gonna
it's
be
not gonna
here.
pop up,
Yeah, it's not
but
gonna
it's
pop
gonna
up.
be in the basement of the Belvedere, like
Yep.
street level access, which is really cool.
Yeah. And where's it gonna be at? It's gonna be on this right side of the building over here.
Yep.
And so you have a grocery store, you got restaurants, you got a bar, you got office space, and you have residential. So also, let me see if I can do the lobby. The lobby here. The lobby's freaking beautiful. It has like, where's a good picture of this thing? I would say maybe this. It's
Yeah.
got security over here, I think to the left, and it's got mail rooms and all that stuff. But just to give you guys context of what this really is, that's what we're buying. And we're buying basically the office on the 11th floor. Let me see if this will show up. It's called the Belvedere Business Center, I want to say.
Yeah. Executive Center.
Executive Center. Executive. Yep, this is what we're buying. The 11 floors catered to only residential, not residential, commercial offices. We have medical, we have consultants, we have other white collar offices in here. So in our actually, oh, this is the website too, by the way, guys. This is actually super awesome. They got rentals here, they got event space, retail space, office space. So on our due diligence period, right? We're basically talking about due diligence and should I share the due diligence or should I just well, I mean, I'll just stop
Yeah.
sharing.
Yeah. Just like a real like gist overview. What's
Yeah.
up, Jason? What's up, Joe? It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, so our due diligence period is right now, and we're actually doing the most important part of the due diligence, and that is doing income verification and then also expense verification. And what the seller ended up telling us at the beginning of our negotiations and our due diligences was about $26,000 was to come in every single month on gross rental
Rents.
payments. Yeah, rents. And we ended up finding out through our due diligence is that only about $24,000 on monthly average is coming in. So it's a difference of $2,000. So now we're looking at the expenses now, and and it's kind of crazy because well, that obviously affects the evaluation. In the commercial space, you look at evaluations based on the amount of rent that you can basically get. Good to see you. What are you guys buying? An office space? Yeah, we're buying 45 units in the Belvedere. And we also did due diligence on the association. So I don't know if you remember, Tim, about like how much like voting rights we'll have. Like it's insane.
Yes, I mean, this is a very unique HOA. So, there's a company that runs this building as an entirety, right?
Yep.
So all the residential, all the businesses that are in there, the commercial units like us, it's running this huge thing, and obviously we have to pay a fee for each unit, and that
Yeah.
pays for like every repair outside of the unit. So the only thing that we're in charge of is the actual space that we own. The hallways, the paint, the roof, everything is managed by that. Like that comes out of that budget, but that HOA has very unique rules to commercial owners.
Yeah.
So if you owned a residential condo, so if you owned a unit where you lived in or rented it, whatever it may be, you get one vote per unit.
Hmm.
On the commercial side, if you own a commercial unit, the Belvedere gives each unit 5 votes. So when we close on this thing, we're gonna have 45 times 5,
Yeah.
which is I don't know how many votes, but
Yeah.
it's
It's a
like
good amount.
it's like almost 30% HOA
Yeah.
control essentially.
Yeah, so let's say we have 45 units times by 5. That's 225 votes that we'll have, and I'll just basically show some of this, the features of it as we're talking. So we have 225 votes. So we have actually a large sway in the say of what the building does. And by the way, guys, we are buying 45 units for $1.5 million on seller finance, thanks to Tim. Let's actually talk about how you structure the deal. Like as far as like what'd you end up saying to the seller? I know we talked about this like last week, but no one remembers.
Yeah, it originally the purchase price was 2 million, so it was
Yeah.
2 million, and he would carry 1 million, so it was $1 million down, $1 million carry for 3 years on 4% interest, seller finance.
Yeah.
uh, when we originally got or we weren't even under contract. We just had a verbal, and we were doing just initial due diligence. And the property was making money, but what we were concerned about was on the back end, right? So this is something very important for people to understand when you guys are raising money or structuring deals. Is when you're raising money and you have a balloon, you have to pay off everybody. Well, it
Hmm.
depends on how you structure it, but how we structured it is we have to pay the entire principal balance and our investors back when we refinance in 3 years.
Yep.
And we didn't really feel comfortable with like how the market was going to be, and the type of math, and just to make sure that the valuation was high enough to be able to pay everybody back in 3 years. So we said, hey man, like 2 million is just out of our price range. Like, if you want to sell it to somebody else, because he had people that were interested as well. It's like, I'm not going to waste your time anymore. Go shop it around, right?
Yep.
Couple months later, I just texted the seller, right? This is why we say follow up is so important. Is I was like, hey man, like, you know, I told him the truth. I didn't lie. I said, I'm sorry that it took so long to get back to you, but Phil's been calling lenders, right? He's been calling commercial lenders to see what would be in the appetite for a potential refinance based off, current rough numbers. And we basically came up to a number of, hey, we can buy this at 1.4.
Yeah.
And instead of him saying F you or like hell no, he said, you know, at the end of the day, shoot me an email, shoot me the offer, and then we can
Mhm.
talk. And I was like, holy cow. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought it's
so
like we went too cheap. We went too cheap.
yeah,
That's
we
not
went
gonna
too
work.
cheap, right? So and any negotiations as well, guys. So I talk about this a lot in sales. Is if you give a number and if they say yes way too fast, that's a red flag. Like
Yeah.
he agreed to our first offer so fast that I was like, all right, bro, like we need to like pump the brakes a little bit. But we went back and forth for a long time. And we ultimately decided on something fair in the middle. So I was like, no, we want to do 1.4 with 500,000 down. And he was like, I can do it if you give me 600 because he was looking for a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, you need, when you do these type of deals, like I hate when people ask me, hey, Tim, can you help me review this deal to see if it's a good seller finance or sub two deal? And I'm like, well, what is the seller looking for? And they're like, I don't know. Okay. So how can you structure a deal, right? Like, do they want money down? How long are they willing to hold the paper? You know, there's a lot of questions
Yeah.
to ask. So I asked him like, how much money do you need to get done? Like, same script I always do. What's like your ideal situation, bro? And he's like, I need 600K down so I can buy two houses or three houses in Texas. Like
Hmm.
makes sense. And he also didn't want to pay like all the taxes up front. So I was like, okay. So if we did 600,000, I gave that number to Phil. Phil crunches his numbers and figures out, hey, at 600,000 down, this is the purchase price we need.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then I call him back and say, if I give you 600, we have to buy it at 1.5 million.
Yeah.
And if you can extend your balloon from 3 years to 5 years.
Yep.
And he thought about it for like 2 days and he was like, you know what? I can get this deal done.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really important to have like that dialogue. And then where we're at right now with due diligence is just making sure that we dot our I's and cross our T's because during due diligence, we end up finding a lot of discrepancies as far as when it comes to income. So on a monthly basis, everything's coming in like very sporadically and different dates. So he'll collect all of 1 month's throughout the whole month, and you'll have multiple people that are obviously are late. So that's another value add situation where we can try to consolidate all of our tenants into like a system because we got to force them into a system to pay from a system instead of collecting checks from time to time and depending on the whoever's collecting the rents will obviously cash it at a bank and then that's just going to be too much time and a couple of days in between. If we have investors we got to pay, if we have obviously him as a lender paying, so that is one thing that we can increase. We can also found increasing in they have virtual mailboxes. So, for example, when you open an LLC in Baltimore or whatever, any state, you need to have some sort of address to be able to send mail to. And they've partnered up with this company called Opus Virtual, I believe, and they charge businesses about $100 a month to be able to add an address, a physical address as a Belvedere on their website. So that's literally scalable money. So that's one of the models that we end up kind of wanting to grow and more profits there. And by the way, this is like also 93% occupied. So like day one, it's supposed to be turnkey and cash flowing. There's only about three vacant units. One unit is for the property manager, and the other two is just empty, which is completely fine. Our idea, I don't know, in the chat, guys, can you guys, would you guys think it's a good idea to create a podcast studio in one of these spaces? I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys know what a podcast studio or content studio is, but like put like one if you think it's a good idea, if you think two and two for a bad idea. I kind of want to see who's actually paying attention or even knows what that is. I know
Well,
there's random.
basically, guys, it's a podcast studio. There's some intricacies to that, but like
Yeah,
these things like print money, especially people don't really run those businesses like well. And like, but we've seen historically in Baltimore,
yeah,
literally someone rented out a whole day for like $1,000, just one day. Just someone came in, filmed to 8 hours, And that's literally like a whole month's worth of rent in one of the units,
That's actually, yeah, yeah. It's one of
give or
the
take. Yeah, depending on
recommended.
what size the unit. Yeah,
Exactly, exactly. And if you have like 3 days open, that could be $3,000. I could pay for like 3 units, and that's
it's
like basically
crazy.
our payment. So, by the way, guys, our monthly payment to the seller is 4,200 and or right around $4,300. $4,300. That's basically like what is that? That's 8 units of payments. That's his payment right there. Just
Yep.
having 8 units pay for his mortgage. And so if we can multiply that, and then there's also leases that are month to month that are primed to be raised up to the market rent. So there might be a few $1,000s that we can squeeze out of there. So things are, I mean, this unit is pretty dope, honestly. But anything else you want to add to
Yeah,
the
I
Belvedere?
when you're looking like if you're looking to acquire like something on your own like this, it's I would say you this is like a perfect example of value add, right? So
Yeah.
and value add isn't always raising the rents.
Yep.
So, I'll answer this question first. So literally, so Joe Desai says literally would just need to convert one suite and if you want to be fancy or any other normal office
Yeah.
value add going crazy, right? And that's exactly what it is. With commercial, we can do whatever we want, right? It's like,
Yeah.
you know, what's the most scalable thing? Like if we grew the online mailing company, I think they're getting paid about 1,300 a month right now,
It's actually
like
less. It's actually
a little less.
780 now.
780 with the
Yeah.
fees and all that. So imagine if we're making just a couple of grand off that.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's very easy, and everybody needs a virtual address, right? But if you're doing value add, it's not just increasing the price of the rent. It's you can reduce expenses. You can,
Hmm.
reduce the electricity or spread the electricity across all the tenants, like stuff like that. Now we don't really have to worry about this with this building or
Utilities.
the Belvedere.
Exactly.
We don't pay for any of that.
Well,
That's all
we
included in
do.
HOA.
Yeah, it's on the
Well,
HOA.
it's
Yeah.
all HOA fee, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So for us, it's how we look at it. Like it's mailbox money if the tenants are managed.
Yeah.
And basically, out of the 48 units, so it's 45 deeds that we're purchasing, but some of the units were split into multiple units.
Yeah.
Out of the 48 tenants, I think like a handful are like over half is paying with checks still. Like they're very old school.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
insane. Like and I never thought about bank verification until I talked to this guy and he was like, "Oh, we need to confirm all the bank payments." And I'm like, "Oh, I would have just bought it, you know?" I think that's my problem, but we're going through the math and you can see it. Like they have half the tenants on Avail, which is a property management software.
Yeah.
So I use that for my single family portfolio as well. So those are all tracked. Like you see all the different payments every month. And then you see these like large ass deposits of like six
Yeah.
grand, 5 grand. And I'm like, and I asked the seller, I'm like, yo, like what's up with this? He goes, oh, those are the cash deposits and check deposits that we get every month. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. In my mind, I'm like, this needs to fucking change.
Yep. And it
Like
will.
immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, this deal is pretty crazy because of what Tim was saying. Like, we don't have to do any repairs other than the units that we have owned. Everything else, like the bathroom, is like there's no water repairs. There's no any bathroom. There's no like showers. There's nothing. The HOA, the building association, takes care of all of that because it's all in the common
Yeah.
areas, which is
And
freaking awesome.
they just
Yeah,
redid the 11 floors bathrooms too. They
so
look
awesome.
good.
Bathrooms, and they did the flooring, and they did the paint too as well.
Yep. They painted the whole floor.
So that's the best part about it. I mean, even though you don't quote unquote own the real estate, you own the space because that's what a condo is. You have so much more, I guess you can say, leverage to have the condo association manage that and like kind of take it.
Yeah. And the big thing too is like when you got 30% of the shares in the
Yeah,
HOA, like we're not like one vote.
yeah,
Like we have almost a third of the
yeah,
HOA's management and it's like, if they're trying to raise prices across the board and do crazy things, like we do have a say.
yeah.
Like
A big say.
30% is a pretty big say.
Yeah,
So we're really excited once we read those HOA documents and it
yeah,
showed how much power that we actually have in the building. I cannot wait to have these two Asian boys just fucking run train in the Belvedere. So I'm pretty excited about that. So
Yeah, so we are still raising money for this bad boy. We got about 57, 60% almost done. And the closing's about a month and some change away. We do have a couple of big old whale sharks coming in, but if you guys might be interested in it, just holler at us. But I just want to touch base on our due diligence on that, just on a weekly basis, since that's what we're doing the most right now on. Um, but that's all I got for the Belvedere. We're going to switch into one of our hirings for the
yeah, yeah. I don't know if you guys in the chat have hired somebody or have gone through it. 67. Hey, let's go, bro. Hey, man, we love to have you, bro. But I don't know if you guys have had any experience with hiring, either acquisition reps or EAs or whatever. But Phil and I, we just hired an EA.
Yeah.
I hired and had to let an acquisition rep go this week, so we'd kind of love to talk about that and kind of why that happened and why we kind of shifted focus on stuff. But Phil, like, do you have anything to kind of like open up on first?
Yeah, dude. So the hiring of the EA, how do you know when to hire? Well, you know when to hire when you are being like the bottleneck of the business. And I basically we had this moment, or I had this moment, and I just realized and just noticed that we were just getting bombarded with messages on a day in and day out with our community. And so I was like texting Tim. I was like, "Yo, I think it's time to hire an EA." He's like, "Yep, I'm thinking the same thing." So like that was a cool little synergy when you have like a good partner that is also on the same wavelength, and like we're like, yep, we're just thinking the same thing. We just need to hire somebody, and so that's when you start hiring. But obviously, you don't want to hire with no money. So we knew that we had money in the account to support an EA, and that's another factor in regards to hiring. And so I got busy and developed or made a
Job
what is it?
listing.
Yeah, job listing, more or less. I posted the job listing on Fiverr and Upwork, and with the job posting, you can be very detailed if you want. I use ChatGPT to outline what I wanted in a person with the skill sets, the mindsets, the technology that we use, etc., pay compensation, and end up posting on that and got a bunch of applicants that are from all across the world. And so we end up choosing a person that has better English and like more of a foundational English base rather than anything else. Because ultimately, our customers are English, they speak English, and that's like probably one of the most important things to me. And then obviously, if you can do the job well, if you're familiar with the technologies that we use, and if you can think on your own, like if you
Yeah.
take the initiative.
A big thing too is like the cost for talent, right?
Yeah.
Like, most people will probably like to hire the Filipino VA that costs about $3 to $4 an hour.
Yeah.
But to be honest, guys, like you get what you pay for. I think we're paying our EA
7.
$7 an hour,
Yeah.
which is a little high for a VA, right? But they speak really crystal English. Insane work ethic. That's number
Yeah.
one. And then number three, like, hiring someone that knows all your systems and you don't really have to teach them stuff is well worth the $7 an hour.
Mhm.
Especially like the one thing I look for in somebody, either acquisitions, EA, or whatever employee, is the pursuit of growth. Like, because
Yeah.
that's one of like the culture like things that I like to promote is like, if I bring you on my team, I truly want to act like this is a marriage. Like, I'm a Matthew McConaughey fan. Like, I don't know if if you know me for a long time, like you know
Yeah.
that I love all his movies. I've read all his books, all that stuff. And Matthew McConaughey says that everyone that has a relationship, either dating, marrying, business, whatever it is, employees, everyone's very transactional, very short term.
Yeah.
But if you go into it thinking like, "Hey, I'm gonna hire you, and like we're married, bro. Like I want you to be with me forever,"
Mhm.
you have that like foundation to be like, "Yo, I'm in it for the long haul." If you are,
Yeah.
right, and it doesn't work sometimes. That's fine,
Yeah.
but I want to have that precedence. And if you are a person that comes onto the team, I want you to have a vision of like, hey, do you one day want to run a team? Do you one day want to manage your own employees? Because we're looking for people that want to grow in their role as our businesses grow.
Yep.
That's the number one thing, right? If our EA is dope, like she may be the EA for this Belvedere project, right? And we
Yeah.
told her that, like, hey, you may be dealing with tenants. Is that cool? She's like, dude, yeah, it's fine, right? And we're like, great, like that's what we're looking for.
And she does have
Um,
real estate background experience as well, which we also liked. So I was like a
yeah, STR, right?
yeah, I was like that's like a bonus. STR short-term rentals guys, but like
Mm-hmm.
that's also a bonus because well, I mean we're in real estate, so why not?
Yeah, and like so she literally did the hospitality stuff anyway
Yeah.
on Airbnb. You know, she's one of those Airbnb like,
Host.
messengers back,
Yeah.
and those hosts. So she can do property management, no sweat, in our opinion. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. But she's just gonna take a lot off our plate. Like I was doing an analysis, and this is gonna sound really nerdy, but I was doing a true analysis of how much time I spent on my day every week managing my calendar, making Zoom links for meetings. Like
Yeah.
you would think like, oh, that takes like 10 minutes, right?
A
But I
second.
do it like a lot. Like I'm always making a Zoom link and
Mm.
that shit adds up.
That just adds up. Yeah, for sure.
It shit adds up. And like it's not just the day, it's the
Yeah.
whole week, it's the whole month, it's the whole year of us doing these stupid actions that are just burning up time. When I literally was on a sales call and made like a $9,000 check,
Yeah.
and that's in an hour's time. So imagine like I'm not saying I'm working like 80 hours a week, but I'm just saying like okay, I can get my time back to do shit that actually makes money for the business
Yep. Yeah.
versus me spending my time on my calendar.
And I will add to this, like when you do hire a person, it makes you think on a different level because when you're teaching somebody, you have to literally spell it out for them. And then when you do an SOP, you literally have to sit down and like map out what you're doing with that particular task. And through that exercise, you become a lot better. And you're like, oh, I know gaps in my own process. Let me fill in those gaps so the person that I'm hiring doesn't go through the same potholes that I've already been through. So that is a huge actually benefit. Whenever you teach somebody something else, it actually builds another skill in your tool belt. So
I
that's
agree.
yeah.
I agree. And then okay, so and then let's flip it on the other side. So
Yeah.
letting someone go.
Yeah.
Why do people let people? Okay, so I've had tons of different experiences like hiring and letting go acquisition reps. Number one, I had an acquisition rep that I had on my team for a long time, probably like 4 months, and he or she was not doing well. And I kept that person on my team for a long time because I was hoping something would change. And guys, if you have a feeling that that person is not a good fit, you gotta cut the fat right there on the spot. It's not gonna, if you already have any sort of doubt, and this goes for partnerships too. If
Yeah.
you are at by yourself and you're thinking, man, he or she like the is just not meeting like blah 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 blah. If you already have those little seeds of doubt, you gotta address it or it's just gonna get worse. It does not get better over time. And we had to let someone go recently, and and I love the guy to death, right? Like I loved him so much. He's such a good guy. And unfortunately, he just wasn't a culture fit, right? I have a very big rule that I do not want to hire someone from my wholesale business that wants to be a real estate investor. Okay, like that's not, like it's against my culture because I'm not gonna freaking have someone on my team learn everything. I'm paying for everything, and then they literally start their own wholesale company. Like I'm not. It's not really about that in terms of like, oh, I'm creating my own competition. It's just those people are not long term. So I just ranted about Matthew McConaughey and
Yeah.
having a long term relationship. Is those people are going to leave you so fast,
Yeah.
and that hurt leap turnover kills your business.
Yeah.
Imagine you have a really good sales guy or girl crushing it for you, doing 5 deals a month, and then they're like, "Yo, I'm out. Like I'm gonna do my own thing, or I'm just gonna quit." And then like, okay, so that's like 50 grand a month in revenue that you
Right.
lose. It's not a small amount of money. So you got to keep people that actually want to be there and have that right fit. And when I let him go, he actually told me, hey bro, I didn't tell you this because I knew you wouldn't hire me. So he kind of lied to me. That's another red flag for me,
Yeah.
is that he actually is in another real estate community and paid money to another coach and he has a whole nother side business on the side.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not a good fit for us. Like that's
Yeah.
not who we want to hire. So when you see those issues with culture or you just don't have a good feeling about it, you gotta address it and let it go, and go
Mhm.
hire somebody else because there's hundreds of other people that would be a better candidate in your business.
Yep, 100%. Completely agree, man. Uh,
It's crazy.
yeah, yeah,
It's crazy. And sales is crazy too, right? Like,
Sales
and you
tough.
gotta you gotta understand too though, like I will say this though, like, because I know a lot of listeners are in the wholesale arena. When you guys hire a VA, when you guys hire an American-based person, you have to have systems. You have to have an onboarding plan. You have to have reoccurring training because no, like nobody just go like even if you're in a W two, like when you get hired on a
Yeah,
brand new W two, your entry level, don't they have like an onboarding process or a week
I do.
where you go through, you meet all the departments, you get your stupid PowerPoint trainings, all that stuff, like so you understand the company. Like that's exactly what you have to do in wholesale. And I rant about this every day that people who are wholesaling don't treat it like what a normal company would do. And you have to do that. And then also sales, you know how freaking hard sales is? Like
Dude,
you like you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
it's
we're
brutal.
both in sales roles technically right
Brutal.
now,
Yeah, it's brutal.
and you need training. Like you need someone to tell you, listen to your calls, tell you like, hey, this is what you need to improve on, this is what you need to not improve on, whatever it is. But you can't have the precedence of you bring on a cold caller and then you're like, yo, this guy sucks, and then you just gave him data and a dialer and you said just go call. That's not what it takes, right? And if you cannot do that, like do not be in this business
Yeah.
or keep grinding on your own, right? Like, you know, I don't know
It's
how else
tough.
I can explain it.
Yeah, it's super tough. I mean, running a business is tough. That's why a lot of people will give up, and it's not. It's not the. It's not a fun hobby. You have to really like suffering sometimes.
Dude, I was listening to Cody Sanchez's pod. I don't listen to her podcast very often, but you know I think she's running ads or something. But
Yeah.
I saw it pop up because she was talking to Mel Robbins about business, and they were like, "Hey, not everyone can be a business owner,
Yeah.
and you know if you're okay with doing this, the things that you hate doing for another boss for 10 years without pay, maybe you should look into it, right? Because I mean, dude, like I think right now it's entrepreneurship culture shit, like culture right now. Like everybody wants to start their own business, everybody wants to do all this
Do it.
stuff, but you know, it fucking sucks, and that's why
Do it.
a lot of people drop in after the first year or two, right? Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that you have to kind of juggle, and it's the stuff that you don't want to do at your full time job that you have
Hmm.
to do for yourself.
Yep.
So that's the crazy part.
I mean, I think we should have like a little, I guess you can say, a topic about entrepreneurship and the shit that you go through, the struggles, the suffering, the getting kicked in the dick all the time. Sometimes, it can be brutal.
It's
It can be
fun.
brutal. It's fun. It's
Well,
definitely need a
I would
mindset.
say that, you know, there's different problems at every level.
Yeah.
Um, when you're first starting out, you have different problems. Like, oh, I don't have any money to start, so I gotta like grind to make my
Yep.
first like, you know, injector fuel of money, right? Or I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing. That's a number one. And then you get like a different problem. Like, okay, I got my systems. I have a little bit of money coming in every single month. That's like
Yeah.
someone that's doing one deal a month, and you're like, okay, cool. Like, but I'm working like an extra 40 hours a week getting this fucking one check a month. So then what do you have to do? That's another problem. Now you have to
Yeah.
hire someone for the first time.
It's
And then you're
scary.
gonna have, yeah, it's scary as fuck. And then you also have to train that person, and you
Yeah.
gotta like, you know, coach that person, inspire that person. And then there's so many problems, you know, like we have different problems every month where, you know, when we were making money for the first time, like hand over fist, we were like, oh shit, like our company's actually like making money.
Yeah.
Then we have issues of like payments, tracking that stuff,
Yeah.
getting overwhelmed with clients. Like that's another thing
Fulfillment.
too.
Yeah.
Fulfillment's very important, right?
Yeah.
So there's so many different things that you kind of experience as you go through the journey of running a business. So
But it's a lot of fun with somebody else with you because you can always talk about the suffering that you're both going together. Kind of like when you're in the trenches, you're like, oh, fuck, this sucks, but at least I'm not alone.
you know, it's just crazy, right? So,
Yeah.
has anybody else experienced that? Like, has anybody been hiring people? Has anybody been not hiring? Like, what's going on with everybody out there? Like, I'm curious to hear.
Yeah.
And if you guys aren't live, like post comments on the channel as well, and we'll respond to it. So
Yeah, we read them, guys. We read these comments. I've had some crazy comments recently on my content on like the group home that I had. So much negativity. I was like, damn, I'm just gonna give you guys a story and you guys are just shitting on me. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I
yeah,
actually love those comments because I just like to say thank you so much for the comments. You're boosting my algorithm up, so keep it coming, guys. I love haters. They're just so funny to me. Like
give Phil all the hate.
it's like what? It's like all right,
Yeah.
cool. It's like it's just so funny to me. People just are hilarious.
Yeah, I know. It's nuts, man. And there's just these trolls that are just sitting on their couch,
I
just typing
know.
away. And I'll tell you guys, like, not to kind of ramble, but posting on social media, oh my God. Like,
Yeah.
it's so hard because you're always experimenting,
Yeah.
and like I'm going through an experimental phase of like trying new things on social media, and it's not really panning out. So I'm like, okay, like, you spend all this money, you spend all this time, it doesn't work out. But that's entrepreneurship
Yeah.
right there, you know? Rage bait? Like, what is this? Some rage bait? What's up, Stella? It's so true though. Like I'm just,
Yeah.
and then you look at a TikToker that posts a video of her in her car. I
Dude,
saw that video you sent. Oh my gosh.
dude, I was
She had
dying.
like 5 billion views of
She had
just her like
1.1 billion views just showing her face and just singing to a dumbass song. I was just like, damn, that's crazy. That's
it'd be
insane.
like that. It'd be like that. So
Yeah.
guys, don't give up on your dreams. Keep posting those reels, okay? That's it. Keep posting those reels. It's gonna pay off one day. That's what my agency told me the other day. So
Oh yeah, it's
it's
gonna pay
okay.
off one day. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna pay
500
today.
a month, baby.
Yeah, let's go.
But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys, and we'll come out with some. Oh, and guys, let us know what you guys want to like talk about, right? Like,
Yeah.
I love chatting with Phil. I talk to him every day, but we want to give you guys value as well. So let us know what you guys want to hear. Do the podcast in AMS. Hold on, can you guys hear this?
Yeah, we can kinda do that. Yeah.
Okay, guys. All right, guys. We'll see you guys on Tuesdays
Later.
at 6 p.m. Peace.